Hey Killer Bees, it's Pahla B from PahlaBFitness.com, where we transform your life right in your living room, one workout at a time. And today is going to be truly transformational. I've got a great seated self-care workout for us today, where we're going to work on flexibility and relaxation. Now, I am in a swivel chair today. I don't recommend that for you. I just wanted to be able to show you the stretches from a couple of different angles. Go ahead and grab a chair that is not going to roll out from underneath you. Put on some nice relaxing music. Turn off all your distractions. And my friend, when you are ready for this one, I'm totally ready. Let's stretch. All right, you guys, come all the way to the edge of your chair. We're just going to start by putting our hands on our knees, finding a nice comfortable position for your legs, rolling your shoulders back, and taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Now, I know, honestly, sometimes when we first start this, it's actually kind of hard to take a deep breath. Go at your own pace. In fact, everything that we're doing today, go at your own pace. This is your self-care. You might find it easier to take deeper breaths later in our workout. You might find it easy to relax now. If you find a stretch that feels amazing, please feel free to pause the video and just enjoy it as long as feels good to you. Go ahead and bring one ear towards one shoulder. A little bit of a stretch on the side of your neck. And then back up to center. And the other ear towards the other shoulder. You'll probably find one side that's a little bit more tense. We're going to go back and forth a couple of times. The more you stretch, going into and out of the pose, you might find that you can go a little bit deeper each time. Just breathing naturally and comfortably. We're relaxing. When you come back up, we're going to bring your chin towards one shoulder, trying to look over your shoulder. And then to the other side. Keeping your chest out, your shoulders down and relaxed, not trying to bring your shoulder to your chin. Really, not even trying to bring your chin to your shoulder. We're twisting our head. Looking around, relaxing the back of your neck. Just breathing naturally, sitting comfortably. You'll find that your core is pulled in just to keep you sitting upright comfortably. That's okay. We're relaxing everything else, but your core muscles can totally work for this one. Bring your chin down towards your chest. Let that relax for a second. While your chin is towards your chest, bring in your ear towards one shoulder, then the other. Just a little bit of a side roll. Let your shoulders relax. Chest is still out. Breathing is just nice and normal and relaxed. Sometimes that'll be deeper breaths. Sometimes it won't. That's okay. Totally okay to have your eyes closed. Feels nice to let your neck dangle. See if you can pull your chin a little bit closer to your chest. As you look up, I'm going to bring those hands right to your shoulders. Elbows are going to be out. We're going to pull them up, 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 and out to the side. Oh, as wide as you can go. Pull them up. Can you get your elbows over your head? And out. Can you get your elbows behind your chest? Nice and gentle. We're kind of rolling through this one. This is a little bit of work for your upper back, but while we're working, we're also relaxing. I know, but we're going back and forth between the work in your back and the work in your chest, which means that we're also going back and forth between the stretch in your back, which is when your elbows are forward, and the stretch in your chest when your elbows are back. You can feel them both, work and stretch. See if you can focus on the stretch, whichever one feels better. I'm assuming it's the stretch. Just breathing normally, especially when your elbows are back. It's real easy to take a big, deep breath. But you can take a big, deep breath when your elbows are forward too. A couple times in each direction. Go ahead and bring your hands back down. Hands on your thighs. Really feel that in your shoulders. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back a couple times. And then forward a couple times. Again, you can feel the work. You can feel the stretch. Let's go ahead and do some arm circles too. Nice and big. Bringing those biceps all the way up near your ears, pulling back as far as you can, and then back the other direction. Really feel your shoulder moving through its whole range of motion, which means that you are stretching every muscle in every range of that motion. I'm not trying to move fast. We're not bringing our heart rate up. That's not the point today at all. When your hands come down, go ahead and put your opposite hand on your opposite thigh somewhere. You're going to reach behind you and twist towards that direction. It's like looking over your shoulder, except your shoulder has moved back a little bit. So we're just bringing as much of your torso towards that side as you can, twisting through the spine, still sitting up nice and straight and tall. Your head is still right on top of your hips. Spine is straight but twisted, as opposed to bent, I know. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Reach behind you, reach across your lap. Breathing, relaxing into it. Back to the first direction. Let's see if we can get a little bit further this time. How's it feel? A stretch should always feel gentle. If you feel like you're working too hard to get into it, let's go ahead and switch sides again, back to that second side. If you feel like you're working too hard to get into it, that just turned into work. This should feel relaxing. Wherever you can get into this spinal twist without yanking from your arms, pulling from your shoulders, that's where your stretch is. Just find the stretch that feels good. And when we come back to center, nice breath. Reach up overhead with one hand, doesn't matter which hand. Reach down beside you with the other. We're going to bend over towards the hand that's down. Really feeling that stretch underneath the overhead arm. Feels like a nice stretch all up and down your rib cage, down into your abs, down into your hips a little bit. Back to center. Switch hands. And stretch the other way. Oh my goodness, that feels nice. We don't stretch our abs very often, so when we do, it just feels amazing. Back to center. When we go back, stretching that first way, reach across your body. Deepen that stretch. Oh my goodness. When you're holding on to either the side of the chair, the side of your hip, the side of your leg, you can really bend into it the other way. That feels amazing, even getting up into the back of our hip as well as the front, the side, your obliques. Back to center. Oh my goodness. Other hand up as we bend over, reach across so that you can go even further this time. If you find a spot that feels like too much, come back up a little bit, that's okay. Finding what's too much is sometimes the best way to find what's just enough. Awesome job. And back to center. Come all the way to the edge of your chair. We're going to spread your knees about hip width apart. And you're going to bring your elbows down to your knees, just leaning forward into it. Only elbows on your knees for right now. This might not feel like too much of a stretch just yet, but I can feel my spine starting to decompress. And as my spine starts to relax into this, go ahead and let your head dangle. Let your neck relax. As you let your neck relax, you can shake your head no a little bit. No more tension. No more troubles, no more stress. As you breathe, and as you can feel your back relax, when you're ready for it, go ahead and run your hands down the fronts of your legs, down towards your feet. Maybe you can touch feet, maybe you can touch the ground. Wherever you can get to that feels good, that feels comfortable, feels like a nice stretch on your lower back. Your neck is still relaxed. Shoulders are real relaxed. It's a stretch on the back of your legs. It's a stretch on your lower back. If you can relax your shoulders, let gravity, let them come down a little bit. It's a stretch on your upper back, stretch on your neck. As your head lets gravity just pull it down. It's a little bit of work in the backs of your legs if you need to. Pull it back up, bring your elbows up, but still let your back relax. As we come back up, we're going to go ahead and lengthen out one leg. Doesn't matter which one, we're going to do them both. And again, just elbow on your thigh or your knee. Find a spot. Ooh, that's almost too much of a stretch for me. Find a spot that feels comfortable. Right now, I can't even do my elbow on my knee. I'm going to go ahead and have my hand on my knee. That straight leg, going to really feel the stretch all along the back. As you can relax into it, breathe into it, you can lean forward. You might be able to run your hand down the front of your leg. You might be able to touch your toe, touch the ground, really lean forward into it. You might also be sitting upright, just like me. Wherever you can find your stretch, That's where you should go. It should feel good and comfortable. Not too much work, not too much stretch, just right. As we sit up, we'll bring that leg back up, stretch the other one out. Just relax your foot. You will very likely find one side that's much easier to relax into than the other. Everybody's got that. Everybody's body has imbalances. We do our best to strengthen and relax and stretch both sides. As we come up, keep that one leg extended. We're going to put your other foot on top of, more or less, your knee. We're going to try to bring that extended leg back up to like a normal sitting position. So you're in sort of a pretzel. You've crossed your legs with your foot on top of your knee. If that's too much to just sit up like that, keep the extended leg a little bit more extended. Keep the bent leg a little bit further down. You're feeling the stretch up into your hip. If this feels good, you can even lean forward into it. Relax, relax, relax. Sometimes you'll find that you can get into the pose, but the more your body relaxes into it, the more difficult it feels. Just pull yourself back up a little bit if you need to. Extend that leg a little bit if you need to. Feel free to move and switch your position so that the stretch feels good to you. You don't have to hold it for any length of time. Wherever you find the stretch feels best is where you should be at that moment. Sometimes that means that you can sink further in, and sometimes that means you need to pull out. Whatever works for you. Thinking about relaxing your chest down towards your legs. Your back is still pretty straight rather than curling over into it. Just keeping your back straight and letting your chest relax. As we sit up out of this, go ahead and extend that leg. And then extend both legs. Now we're going to bring the other one up. This one's going to be difficult for me. I already know that. Go ahead and cross that foot over the knee. Bring the extended leg up if you can. Nice breath. Nice breathing. Some of your breaths are going to be real deep. Some of them might be a little bit shallow as you're figuring out how to relax into this pose. This one's particularly difficult for me. It's why we do it. as we come back up, go ahead and extend that leg, extend both legs, and then bring them back to seated. Doesn't matter which side you choose to do first. We're going to get your butt all the way to the edge of the seat. Hands on the chair. You're going to turn one knee in and drop that knee towards the ground. Doesn't matter if you're actually touching the ground. We're not load bearing at all on the knee. We're simply turning it in and feeling that stretch all the way up the front of your thigh into your hip flexor. If you need to lean back a little bit to really feel it here in the hip flexor and in your abs, that's awesome. Your weight is being supported by your butt on the chair, or half of your butt on the chair, as well as your hands. This one is a little bit of work, but that stretch is totally worth it. Relax, relax into it as much as possible. See if you can relax your foot on the ground. Relax your abs. Your core is pulled in. That's your deep stabilizer muscles. But your abs on the outside, they're relaxed, they're stretching, they feel good. As we come back to center, give your arms a quick break. I know that was a little bit much. That's the thing about stretching. There's always a little bit of work to be done too. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Turn that knee in, drop it to the ground. Lean back a little if you can. Relax your foot if you can. Getting your toes flat on the ground, the top of your foot flat on the ground. Sometimes that's a little bit much. I totally understand. Whatever stretch feels best to you is the best stretch. This should always feel good. It should always feel a little bit of work, but also very relaxing. So nice to stretch out those hip flexors. As we come back to center, go ahead and scoot back on your chair a little bit. Go ahead and get all the way on the chair a little bit. We're going to extend both legs. I'm actually going to scoot out a little bit so that I can really extend both legs. Bring your toes towards your body. So you're stretching your calves. Can you feel that on the backs of the bottom of your legs? Now you do not have to lean forward into this at all. I'm not going to. If you don't feel it on the backs of your calves, because you're very flexible, you can lean forward into it as much as you want to. For me, right about here is perfect. You can lean all the way over. If you want to, you can even grab your toes. That's not an option for me. Simply pulling my toes back is giving me plenty of calf stretch. You are engaging the fronts of your thighs to be able to do that. Even while you're working them, think about relaxing the backs of your lower legs, those calves. Let them stretch, let them relax. Keeping your toes pulled up, but also relaxed. As we relax and come back to center, go ahead and bring your feet back underneath you. We're going to lean forward into it. Lean down. Let your chest come all the way down to your knees. Let your head come all the way down to your knees. Wrap your arms around each other. Grab
your upper arms with your hands. If you can, grab your upper shoulders, your upper back. Give yourself a big hug. Pat yourself on the back. Gather up all that energy right in your heart. And as you exhale, let it all open up. Lean back. Open your arms out wide to the side. Open your feet out wide. Open your fingers. Open your toes. Relax your neck. Relax your head. Open up your whole body, your whole heart. What an amazing thing you did for yourself today. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. It certainly doesn't have to take any money. You can take care of yourself just like this. Breathe and relax. I have so enjoyed these seated Saturdays with you. September was a wonderful month. If you haven't seen the rest of the seated Saturday workouts, I'm going to have them for you here on screen. Thank you so much for stretching with me today. That felt absolutely amazing. Before you go, make sure you click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for today. I'll see you next time.